Hey, how are you?
Well, thank you. How are you,
I'm
Asia?
good. I'm good. Good to see you. We're so excited you're joining us tonight. Tonight for me, today for you.
Yes. Today for me,
Loving
it's
that. Loving all the time zones we're hitting. We're
yeah,
hitting today.
I
Hello,
love it.
hello. We have people joining, waving. Welcome, welcome. So, Round Care, how are you today?
I am grateful, not to be cliche, but
I love
I
that. I love that. So let's just jump in. I mean, I'm so happy that we finally made this happen. We connected on Instagram, and I think you saw one of my posts and you commented, and I started looking at your page and realized how much we had in common, sharing a lot of the same passions, super passionate about women empowerment and enabling the next generation and reaching back. And I was just so inspired by all that you were doing over there in Nigeria. And so just reached out and said, hey, let's talk a little. And we had a great conversation.
yes,
The IG phone really does work, right?
and
Cross
I
continental.
yes, and I couldn't believe that you're all the way in Asia and I'm here in Africa.
I
Technology
I know,
is
exactly. It's like it's so crazy how social media is amazing, right? That it can connect to women of color, women are passionate about the same things and bring them into the same space. And I'm super grateful for that as well. So, but I just want to, just tell us a little bit about you and kind of what you're doing in your organizations.
okay.
Just give us a little trailer on Round Care.
Well, thank you very much, Asia. Well, I'm African, so us Africans, we like to do a lot of greetings. All right, so I'm going to say thank you once again. We like to do a lot of greetings in Africa, especially
Okay.
in Nigeria. We have a greeting for people who have been home all day. So, for example, if you're just coming from somewhere, if someone's with Ekule, I'm Yoruba, by the way.
Oh, are
So we
you?
have yes, so we have Ekason, which is afternoon, good afternoon. Ekaro, we greet for every situation. All right, so
I love.
I just want to say thank you so much for thank you. I can't remember the day I just found your page and I just loved it. It was just the overall, just the energy behind the page. I watched a few of your past lives and I just really loved it. And for me, I'm always seeking out women who are inspiring. I always talk about how I curate my social media. And if it's
Yes.
not inspiring, if it's not uplifting, I block it. If it's not
Right.
encouraging, I unfollow it. So I feel like social media is kind of like my happy place. I'm not going to go there and get depressed. All right. So
Right.
anything
I
that's going to
love
cause
that.
I mute, block, unfollow. So that's sort of my thing. So I'm always seeking out. I guess the algorithm always knows what you want. It's
It
just like the
does.
algorithm of
It helps
absolutely
us find each
yeah.
other.
So when I found you, I thought, oh my goodness, love this page, love what you're all about, love the energy. So thank you so much for having me, and everyone that's on the live, thank you so much for joining us as well.
Yes, you have
Um,
someone say, "Hey, Ronnie, is that your nickname?"
that's my friend too. So
Okay,
yeah,
so
my name
you
is
have some friends on here. Welcome everyone. So happy to have you.
yes. So well, my name is Ronke. I always like because I mean I lived a bit in the UK as well, so I'm used to sort of helping people sort of pronounce my name properly. Which I mean I'm glad that you actually asked as well.
I
It
am
shows intention
too.
not someone wants to pronounce your name the right way. So I always say roll care. Wrong care.
You have
All
to
right.
give people those little
Yes.
those little even me, my name is tricky because it has an I
Spelled
in it. It's actually pronounced Asha.
Asha. Oh, Asha.
That
So people would often say Aisha or Aisha. So I mean, I know it's
phonetically it's correct, right? But if you don't know, for some reason my parents kept that I silent.
oh my. So thank you so much for having me. So yes, I am a mom. I am also very big on empowering women and girls. I'm an author. and I'm a broadcaster as well. I've been in radio broadcasting for over 14 years. And
Wow.
so I'd realized, oh, I had this platform and I really wanted to give back. So I know I've always loved to inspire and empower young girls
Mm,
and women. So I started Who's That Girl Nigeria, which is sort of like my platform for encouraging and inspiring young girls, to sort of be more confident, speak up, and sort of know the right situation at all times. So right after that, when I became a mom, I realized how tough, motherhood can be. I also
mm,
sort of, yeah, because it was so daunting. Because we don't talk a lot about certain things, especially us women.
I
We just
know.
assume certain things are normal. We go into motherhood thinking we are just gonna have a baby, and so there were lots of shocking moments for me. And I realized, oh my goodness, nobody told me deprivation. Nobody told me about so many things, that I would experience. And I'm often trying to, every time I experience something, I always think about them. I'm sure like hundreds of women who are experiencing this as well, but they're suffering in silence. So I often use my pain to sort of create a platform to create a community that allows other women to, be in the know about certain things that are often silent about, especially us Africans. There's always that silence, that hush hush about motherhood, about marriage, about everything, basically. So I've created platform basically from my pain and from my struggles that sort of helped other women to just be aware of these things and have an atmosphere where they can talk about it with people without judgment
Right.
and stuff. So I'm founder of WTG Nigeria and Flow Africa, just basically more women platforms and women empowerment communities in Nigeria.
Wow. When do you sleep? When
Right?
do you sleep, lady? I'm like, you are doing so many amazing things. And I love what you said. It is so true. We should not suffer in silence. And how your pain gave you a voice and also helped you create this platform for other women to have a voice. And I think that's just so beautiful. It's like your pain propelled you into your purpose.
Yes.
And so it wasn't for a reason, it was for a reason. So thanks so much for all that you're doing across the ocean. It just is so inspiring to know that women have an ambassador and an advocate like you. So you're joining us today, and our theme for CORE, which CORE is also a women empowerment organization, and the acronym stands for Courage, Optimism, Restoration Every Day. And it's actually based on women sharing their truth and sharing their story. So very similar, like you and I
Love,
talked about. And
love
so
it.
every month we kind of have kind of a theme or kind of a North Star for the month. And this month, our theme is gratitude. And I'm so happy for you to join us and be our first guest this month to talk a little bit about gratitude. And you've talked about kind of like all that you're doing and the work that you're doing. How does gratitude kind of impact your life and kind of order your day-to-day steps? How does it impress upon you?
Um, it's everything, to be honest, because sometimes that's all we've got. Gratitude. Sometimes you're in
Mm-hmm.
certain situations, myself in those situations often, and I find that really all I can do is be grateful, because I always think about gratitude as really the only way to stay afloat. So you can
Mm-hmm.
drown, perhaps you're going through something, and even as women we go through different things all the time. So I always think gratitude doesn't cost me anything, and that's the only way I can stay afloat anyway, because I know I'm going to fight this and I know I'm going to get through this. And oftentimes gratitude is that log that keeps you afloat until you get to your boat. So for me, I sort of utilize it in every situation, and I always build a gratitude bank, because I think the worst thing you want to
Oh,
do
I like that.
is you know, wait until you have struggles or bad times before you start learning gratitude, because it's hard. All right.
Yeah.
So even during happy times, good times, I'm constantly building that gratitude bank, because sometimes that's all you're going to have when you go through trying times. So I really utilize it in every area of my life. And I teach this even to my kids, because, like I said, it really is all you have sometimes. But you have to realize that that gratitude can carry you for as long, up to a period where you are able to get your safety net, or you're able to get anchored. Because I feel it sometimes where I just feel very unanchored. But because I'm a Christian, so sometimes I just praise and I just worship. I do that often, because really and
Right.
truly, it's out of my control. There's certain things. I can't control and I can't do anything. But one thing I can control is my emotions or my energy. And I'm going to use gratitude to get myself out of that dark hole and balance to the point where I'm able to get to my anchor. So I feel it's so important to build that gratitude bank. When you're happy, build the gratitude bank. When things are good, build that gratitude bank, because there's certain times when that's all you're going to have. But if you can just hang on to that log of wood, it will get you to the point where you can eventually get anchored.
Wow. Thank you so much for that. Man, you just gave us so many gold nuggets in what you said. I love what you said about the gratitude bank and anchoring. And actually also, and I can tell by when I watch your videos and your content, all of the positivity that you really do exude it. So you said that kind of building the bank is one tip that maybe you would give our audience, and one of the someone said, "Wow, amazing." Evilisa said, "Wow, amazing." So it's really resonating with the audience. Um, but so one way is kind of building a gratitude bank. Is there any other tips that you would give those of our friends today that have joined us on how to walk in gratitude and how to keep gratitude at the forefront of their lives?
Absolutely. Apart from building a gratitude bank, it's also important to be surrounded by people who see the good in you.
Mm,
So even when
mm.
things, I mean, my sisters are my best friends. And so oftentimes when I go to them with complaints, they're reminding me of what I do have. So the worst thing you
Wow.
want to do is sort of isolate yourself. So there's no one to remind you that, hey, you have a great husband. Come on. You have a great, come on. Or you have a great, job. Come
Right.
on. So if
Right.
a lot of themselves or surround themselves with people who are reminding you of what you do not have. All right. So
Mm-hmm.
they're two very do that can really just stifle your gratitude bank, which is being around people who will remind you, oh, that's true. Perhaps you're saying, you know what, this is not going well, and they're saying, yeah, it's really not going well. It's not going as a that, and I know there's a place for you, comforting you and letting you sort of feel your feels. However, you
Right.
want to be around people who allow you to complain, allow you to say what you need to say, but then remind you that, look, you've got this, you've got that, and it really just puts the silver lining in the clouds that helps you to go, you know what, I really do have this. I may not have this yet, but I really do have this, and this is something to be grateful for. So I utilize that as well. My sisters are constantly reminding me, hey, even when it's about my kids, I go to, and it's important because I go to my sisters when my kids often want to make me tear my hair out.
I
Because
know.
also, I mean, they see my kids as amazing and adorable. So they're able to remind me that, your kids are amazing. They're respectful, they're kind. So yes, they will act up a few times, but don't report your kids to someone who's going to say, yeah, your kids are horrible, nasty, your husband
Right.
is nasty, you need to leave him. But go to people who remind you of the silver lining, people who remind you that, oh, your husband may, be a little this, but hey, do you remember that he's kind, he's this, he's that. So
Mm-hmm.
yourself with people who remind you of what you do have and never isolate yourself.
What a blessing. Thank you for that. And someone said, yes, absolutely. People are really feeling it. And so, you have so much going on and you're obviously constantly pouring to people. Tell us a few ways of how you nourish your soul. How do you take care of Ron Prayer?
Ah, well, I always, even with my kids, I tell them, you know what, happy me, you will enjoy me more when I'm happy. So I think for me is I know I'm a good multitasker. However, I know where to stop. So for me, like I said, I'm a Christian. So I spend a lot of time meditating on God's word. It really does just helps me to build my battery. So also I go to the
That's
spa.
big.
Yes, I take care of me. And I do this also because I have all girls. I have three girls. And so for me, I do it intentional when I don't feel like going to the spa. I do that and I let my girls know. I take care of myself because I don't want my girls to grow up believing in this struggle woman, struggle
Mm,
motherhood, struggle, martyr, die for everybody. No. So there's some times just 2 weeks ago, I just went, to another city, stayed in a hotel for two days and just enrich myself. And that's important for women, especially because oftentimes we take care of everybody else but ourselves. So for me, there are times when, and I know certain people I go to as well. So even though I pour out into other people, I know people who are able to pour into me.
wow.
All right. So I know when to stop. I know when to just not go out, And it's important to know, because oftentimes we're trying to prove so much to everybody that we're hardworking, with this, with that, and we run our. So it's important for me, because I have girls. I need to teach them that it's important to care for yourself. Take care of yourself, because if anything happens to you, sadly, your family is going to move on. They will be sad, but they will move on. So it's important for me to do that. So yeah, I go to the spa, I check out, I just go away for a few days if I need to, and I have
Good
people
for
who call.
you.
Yes.
Love that. Love that. I hope we're all soaking that in, because it's so important. You got to take care of yourself first. Um, so we're talking about today about walking in gratitude, and you've shared a lot about that. And I've heard you touch on it because you have girls, so I know they're looking at you and as their shero, and you're able to, you have right there in your own home people every day, young women every day that you're teaching. What are some other ways that you teach in your, even in your community and in your organizations, for the women that you're touching, how to walk in gratitude or show
No,
them?
yeah, because when I haven't been on radio in a while, because I've taken a break even from radio, and that's sort of like putting myself first. Because when I work in radio, I often would talk about current affairs issues, and when you
Mm-hmm.
work in, you're talking about bad news.
Right.
Eventually, it will start to you. So I had to take a break. I had to take that break, and
Right.
um, yeah, and so I took that break to actually even focus on some of my initiatives, like Flow, for example. Recently we had a wellness picnic, which was amazing. We just got all the women out, did some Zumba,
Oh,
yoga, game, you know. And for me, it was just lovely seeing a lot of these women and getting their feedback and saying, we need to do this more often.
right.
And we need to do this more often. And it's so important to me because I love seeing women thrive. I love seeing women flourish. I love it
Right.
when I see a woman. I love when I see a woman walking. I can just tell that she's very self-aware, confident. It's just something very inspiring about it. You know how they say iron sharpens iron. So
It does.
with women, we need to. It does. So for me, that's really what my agenda is with a lot of my initiatives, and even with young girls. Recently, I finished an internship program, because even though I'm not on radio, I find that a lot of people still look up to me as a broadcaster. So I
Mm-hmm.
did like an internship program for free for about 20 young aspiring broadcasters, mostly women. I think it was just one, and I made it open to her, because oftentimes I'm very drawn more to girls and women. I find that maybe because I don't have sons, perhaps that's why God didn't give me sons either.
Well, that's
So I'm always looking at ways to improve people around me, and ways to help people around me improve. So that for me, I think is what gives me the most joy. So that's why most of my initiatives are really, okay, how can we ensure women in Ibadan, for example, where I live, are thriving in their businesses, mentally stable, because we hear so many stories. A lot of people are, like I said, suffering in silence. So for
right.
me, the core of all I do is really trying to help people get from point A, which is could be what, a dark hole, depression, or whatever, to just point B, where you're able to thrive, stand on your own, and just be able to fly. That's really important to me.
I love that. Well, I can definitely feel and hear your wings as you talk. So you're flying and you're taking a lot of people along with you, and it's just really awesome to hear and witness. Um, tell us a little bit about your nonprofit organization and how it was to build that,
Ooh,
and your heartbeat. I know it's not for the faint at heart.
not. It's not. Are just non-profits are so tough. It really is, like, you really do still have to have that, like, business sense. And to be honest, I've never seen myself as a business person, and maybe that's why I went the non-profit. I'm always, in fact, I have friends who say, why are you doing that for free? You should charge people. For example, I'll see people and say, okay, you know what, I can teach you how to speak better. Like I said, I just did a mentorship program for free for 20 young aspiring broadcasters. I could have charged for that, but it never really occurs to me, because I'm always thinking, okay, how can I help? How can I help? How can I help? So
Mm,
I reorientate myself to now start to think more business like in how I do things. Even with my non-profits, there are things that we do, and most of the people who attend are like, I think you should have charged us for this, you
it
know.
was good, right?
Really good. But what we do is obviously go out, get sponsors, get people to contribute. So it's really tough because I'm also not one of those people who likes to ask, But for my nonprofits, I throw shame out the window and then ask. I go to organization and ask, oh, can you give us this? Can you collaborate with us with some of your products so that we can give these women this kind of experience? So nonprofits are tough because you have to constantly ask people for stuff, organizations, brands to collaborate with you. And sometimes people just see you as, you're always just coming to ask. So I'm always trying to find ways to add value, my dog, to add value to some of these brands so they feel like collaborate with us next time. So the thing is, so for me, I'm always thinking, how can I help people and not charge them and not, but I find a lot of my friends who say, and then my friend Tony is always saying, you're always doing things for free. You need to start charging people for some of the things you do. But for me, my mindset is also key to how can I help, that I need to always draw myself back and say, hey, okay, even if I am helping, perhaps I can find a way to make them commit in some way that, it makes it easy for all of us. So nonprofits are tough. I would say that
They are.
building anything.
And that's
Tough.
a whole nother conversation that we can have one day on women monetizing their gifts and
Yeah.
sometimes how we hesitate. And I've fallen into that category as well. So I completely understand and how to strike the balance between giving back and uh, elevating
Yeah.
yourself and others. So, but it's good. I really appreciate, like to hear what you said, because it is important for us to give back to the community. And sometimes our gifts don't need to be monetized and sometimes they do. But, yeah, it's a lot of work, to build a nonprofit. So it was just interested to hear kind of how your journey has been. And it sounds like it's been similar to a lot of other women's. I mean, like I said, it's not for the faint at heart.
Ups
Up
and
and down,
downs. Yeah.
up and down.
Rewarding,
So
rewarding, hold on, how much value giving it. It's rewarding,
it
you know.
is. It is so rewarding. And that's the thing is like if you care about it and you're passionate about your cause, when you see that coming to fruition, that is the reward enough for you at that time at some points. So man, so we've talked about a lot in a short time. I can't believe we're already getting close to the time ending. And I want to make sure, is there, we've talked about several things. We've talked about gratitude and your journey and paying it forward and reaching back. Also, so is there any other thing that you would want to really leave with our friends that have joined us today and really want like just to take with them through the week or through the month, around the theme or around anything that's really on your heart recently?
Absolutely, Asha. And it really is still on gratitude, because I mean, we underestimate the power of gratitude. And I know
Mm,
I've talked a lot about how it just keep you during that corridor in your life where you're trying to, it could be that you're trying to figure out where your life's going next. It could be like you don't have clarity. It could be like you're just perimenopause. I've been telling everybody about, and it's so tough, but gratitude has so much power.
mm,
There's an adage that um, in Nigeria about how it's a child who is thankful for one that will get more. So it's something that a lot of raised us with. If you're thankful for a little, you will get more. Gratitude definitely does open doors for you. So I don't know if there's a lady here or anyone who's going to watch this later on who just feels, like you're just floating. I felt like that even in recent times. Who just feels like you're burdened. Gratitude is free, to be honest, and so it's a strategy that I feel it's free, to be honest. So it won't cost you any. It's the same energy that you use to just say, you know what, I'm going to believe the best. It's the same energy that you're going to continue to just stay down in the dumps. So why not just choose hope? Why not just choose life? Why not just choose to just expect the best? So that's what I would say to anybody here who feels a little lost, who feels like they're seeking clarity. Stay grateful, because gratitude sort of clears your head. Because there's something about negative energy that sort of clouds your judgment, clouds everything. But gratitude really is like sweeping off the cobwebs and then just seeing the sun come. So for anybody who feels a little lost, who feels that they need clarity, who feels a little burdened, I'll just advise you to just go the route of gratitude. And you will find that, you feel a little lighter. And I hope someone here feels a little lighter when they choose to go the route of gratitude.
I'm seeing a lot of hearts floating across the screen. So I thank you for that. Gratitude is definitely free and it does lighten the load. So so how can we support you, Ronke? Where can we find you first of all? I mean, I think a lot of your followers have followed, but if anyone else has jumped on and they want to know how to follow you and how they can support you and how they can get plugged into what you're doing, please let us know right now.
Thank you so much, Asha. I think I'm just typing in some of my um, initiatives. There's Who's That Girl Nigeria, which is really focused at young girls. I have a book called Lara's Lesson. Okay, actually, I should be plugging books. Oh my goodness. So I have a
Is it
book
on
called Lara
Amazon? How can we get it?
Amazon and
Okay.
Lulu. So this one's Lara's Lessons. It's actually targeted at young girls. So sharing life lessons for young girls. So I have a lesson about being authentic, a lesson about being kind, a lesson about money. I just feel that these are lessons
Mhm.
everyone should know before they turn 21. So this book has all the life lessons your kids should learn, especially girls.
Okay.
I think that boys as well, because there's a chapter there about life lessons about as your association, the kind of friends you keep. Because Lara in that
Mhm.
chapter starts befriending this girl who starts introducing her to older boys, and then she almost got raped. You know, that chapter I think is my
Oh
favorite because
no.
it's literally,
Yeah. That's
yes,
big.
when I was a teenager, something similar happened to me. And of course, I have this
Mhm.
book called Lulu Learns. It's on Amazon. This is on Amazon. This is on Kunda Kids. And Lulu Learns is a picture book for kids, and it has an affirmation, a part for affirmation, because I think it's important to, if you want your kids to grow up being grateful people, teach them how to affirm themselves, teach them how to speak life into themselves, and it's something I do with my girls all the time. And this book has that, so you can follow at Lulu Learns, Lara's Lessons, buy on Amazon. That's how you can support me. And yeah, I'm just really grateful for this Asha, for this opportunity. And I'm just so grateful. Thank you so much.
Yes, I'm grateful too. Thank you so much. I'm gonna look because the holidays are coming up, and I have my sister has 4 girls, and then I have another sister that has 5 girls.
Oh,
I
wow.
have one boy.
Oh, wow.
But I have a lot of people to buy books for. So a lot of girl cousins and girl nieces. So I think this is great. And also it's like you said, it could be good for boys too, because I want, these women that are empowered and getting poured into. That's the kind of woman that I want my son to one day marry and date, because they're gonna know who they are, right? So I love that this work is being done.
And when women are empowered, I feel that when we have sons, we're raising them to be respectful. We're raising them to,
Hmm.
you know, be great men. So we want women to be empowered at all times, because then we're better moms. We're better everything when we're empowered. To be honest. So thank you, Asha.
Amen to that. Well, thank you. This has been so great, and the time flew by. I mean, we've been on almost 30 minutes. So, thank you so much. Thanks to everyone who joined today. And I just walk in gratitude, offer gratitude to others, as Ron Care has shared with us today. It's free, and continue to fill your gratitude bank as you go through the month and the
Oh,
rest of the year. Someone said beautiful. And there were some other comments I missed, but I really am grateful for everyone who joined and all the engagement. And hopefully we'll get to connect again, Ron Care.
absolutely, absolutely. I can't wait to collaborate with you on initiatives, whatever. Because I mean, obviously, we're like minds, so I can't wait to
Yes.
do something. Well
We're
done.
gonna
Okay.
these two irons are gonna sharpen each
Yes.
other. I can already
Yes.
tell.
So much.
Good night. Goodbye. Have a wonderful day. Take care,
Yeah.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye.